What's up, y'all? Man, I'm sitting here chilling, and these racist, confused white people, I'll just say confused. They love to just denigrate us as if we all just came from Africa in a boat and sailed on over here in slaves. Everybody was just slaves. That's all they know is slavery. And it's not really their fault. It's the fact that they hadn't been taught. Their history has been manufactured. History has been altered to tell their tales and not our tales. And they don't know anything. They don't pick up a book. They read only tales that benefit their story because the truth and reality is so brutal that to hear it is just don't sit well with your soul. Now, the Etruscans people in Italy, they saw the new Gladiator movie. Before they even saw the movie, people was like, how could Denzel Washington sit on the throne of Rome and be up there with the emperors? They would never let a black man be up there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What you think is just all white people out there, right? That's all their land. Not only was it people there from Asia, black, the Etruscans ruled the whole section for thousands of years. They had the Etruscan islands. They was about to take over all of Italy. What's called Italy now. The Etruscans came over from Morocco, the majority of them, and most of them were Moors. Black people sailed over there to that land. Most of them, some of the people that joined in lived there. And what they did was take the women that lived there, took the wives from most of these white men, and basically pimped them. If you want to know the truth, that's history ain't gonna tell you that. You gotta dig deep. Right, let me give you the edited version. I mean the straight to the point version. There were Semites, there were Italics, which is what they called Italian people back then, Italics. They had the Canites. You had all different type of people there. And right by Rome was the threshold where everybody was. So you had all the black people living right next here and all the white people living right next door. And in the middle is Rome. And everybody come in there. So you got black people, you got white people. So I don't know what the hell movie you watched. If you watched Gladiator 1, you saw the black dude right there with Russell Crowe. The whole damn movie. Where they get him from? They had black people working for Rome, for the military. So I'm really baffled by some of these people's remarks. Well, Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the Etruscan people, for those who don't know, taught the Romans. The Romans learned from the Etruscans, who brought all of their knowledge from Morocco over to those lands. The Etruscans destroyed themselves from within. They did something really stupid. The Etruscans decided to the Etruscans decided to do something so dumb, something so stupid. They decided to go get all of these white women, put them together, and we're going to start selling them off to the highest bidder. And the white people came over and said, hey, you know what? You guys are all right. We're going to throw a party, and we're going to party them up. We're going to drink. We're going to throw it up. And the Etruscans love to party. They had a big old freak off. Meanwhile, the Italics had teamed up with the Veneti people and got them all on one side. They got the people there on each side, and they said, look, we know some of y'all over there in the Etruscans. We need y'all to team up because we got to take these dudes out. Now, they're powerful people, all of them like 6'8", all of them looking like LeBron James. Powerful. And we just some little bitty white guys, but we stocky. We got speed. We can get by. So they got them Spaniards to help them out. The Cargillans, they said, we're not going to sail over there and have nothing to do with that. We're going to stay over here and see who wins. So they stayed out of it. And the Celts, they were all on their own island, so they didn't care what these people did. But whoever did that had control. So they said, well, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to get involved, but we're going to pray for whoever come out on top. And they were looking like this is going to help us in the trade battle by just doing nothing. So they didn't come over to help. But the Etruscans were so messed up, so drunk, so partied out, they couldn't fight. Not the ones that say zero sugar. So the Etruscans lost the battle, got their heads chopped off, everything. They were dismantled. They couldn't do anything. And they were driven out of the lands into the further north, which is now known as Tuscany. They were driven out of there. Most of them fled and went to what's called Sicily now. That's why Sicilians, most of them have black hair, black eyes, because the DNA mixing with the Etruscans gave them the black hair. The Italians, or the Italics back then, their hair was normally blonde and they had blue eyes. Well, the Greeks did not know how to dress, so they taught them. They taught them history. They taught them culture. They taught them their knowledge of farming, metalwork. They were able to sail way before Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus wanted to see the world wasn't flat. Oh, damn. He did? Oh, man. Let me see if they have a photo online or something. Christopher Columbus. Sent to see if the world is flat. See if they have that image. And let me see. Let me see. The Queen sends it. The Queen sends Christopher Columbus because it was the Queen. Oh, okay. Christopher Columbus was likely not the first European to cross the Atlantic Ocean. No, it. I guess people now know this is all lies. The Etruscan civilization, the Black people, taught the Romans the alphabets and the numeral system, art, religion, how to dress, the togas they wore. All of these things were African, Morocco. All of this was them. They used to sail with a skull and two crossbones. The thing that you see now for the pirates, the Moors, that's how their ship used to be. Before Christopher Columbus, they were already sailing the ships in the water, knew where to go, everything. Well, the Etruscans, they said, were conquered by the Romans, but it really was the war with the Italians that they came in and did what they did. There wasn't really the Romans. But when Rome came into power, they decided to eliminate and draw out what was left of the Etruscan culture, destroy their towns, and they remade history and started turning people into white history and putting up new statues, Xing people out of history. No, No, it wasn't that. It's the fact that I don't like. I gotta watch the Laker game, so I'm gonna watch the Laker game. I got it on now, so I can get caught up with what happened. But believe me, they were the first like real industry pimps. That's the Etruscans. This is a statue of them bringing some hoes and other people around. That's what they known for. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know it, man. Oh yeah, I saw Gladiator too, and that thing took like 16 hours. So of course, I was this white dude wanted to know. He was mad because he don't understand how Denzel Washington could be in Gladiator. Well, why? Well, how did they put Denzel Washington? Okay, now they're blackwashing characters. They're not blackwashing characters. Denzel Washington's playing a character who's black in real life, in real history. That's a real person. That dude is black. The character he played in the movie. That's an Etruscan. He looks pretty damn black to me. So they whitewashed a lot of history. We know that. So the illustrious people of the land, they all know what's up. So the people that got to wake up is us. Start looking at your history. That look like a freak off statue. Oh yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to make it too long. But yeah, the Etruscans from Italy, yes. Over there in Tuscany, that area, yes, those guys. That's where Rome is at, where the Roman army is. And they're trying to say Denzel Washington shouldn't be over there in the movie. Like, there was no black people in power over there. I'm like, we ran Italy. The Etruscans ran that area for years. I'm talking about during the Roman Empire. During the Roman Empire, there was black people that was working for the Romans. The character Denzel Washington is playing is an educated man who's a businessman, who's looked at mostly as a black Spaniard on the coast of Africa. He was taught literature. He was knew poetry. He knew all the languages. Everybody was navigating the globe way before Columbus. Ireland, people in Ireland was here. People from China was here. They they were going back and forth from China to the United States, or what was you called the United States at that time. The United States, what they used to call it, Atlantis. What you see down underwater, they call it Atlantis. The United States used to be called Atlantis. Not too many people know that. Not yet. I am going to do a review of the movie, but I think it's too late because the movie was like 3 hours long. So we're going to cover that. Yes, Denzel Washington character is based on a real person. In the statues, they try to make him look white. It's not white. Never was white. He's a black Spaniard who was educated, came from money. He was in charge of a route that led. It was a dangerous route, but it was a very it's a trade route, and it was important for Rome. It's a tedious thing for them, but it was very important. So he was in charge of it, and he made a lot of money being in charge of that route. And on the side, he allegedly was like, some people in his history said he was a fighter in the ring, but most of the people said that wasn't true about it. Like he was a gladiator. And they just said, oh, they did that, took that part and used it for the movie. But he never was a gladiator. He was somebody who spent money and gambled on the fights, but he never entered the ring and fought himself. He was more philosopher, teacher, businessman. They made him look black for the movie. No, he looks like a black Spaniard from the way his hair is and everything. It's same way he looks. But if he wanted to be black, that's fine. His character is from the outskirts of Africa, what is known as Africa. That's where he's from. Well, Maneka, I believe, is from. Manekana is where the island he's from. One thing about him, he wasn't white. Most of these characters, they have went and whitewashed these characters, or people in real life destroyed the history. Real life history was scared of living it out of you, because if you knew what was really going on in the world, you wouldn't follow what they want you to follow. It's easy to control you when you don't know who you are. So Rome learned all of their things that they do, their customs, their trades, they they robes, everything they got from us. Well, one thing that they had that no one else seemed to have or possess was they actually had their the Rome had their own they had their own toileting system that they got from the Greeks, from Greece. The way they designed it, they had it to where the urine would slide out into the. They had it where it was basically the first toilets. Instead of being an outhouse, they had their first like toilets. Well, I'm just somebody that's stuck in time, man. I'm stuck in a time where people used to do everything that they said they did, or they spoke with differences. They spoke with a different meaning and value, and people use religion to basically confiscate the attention of someone else. Yeah, they do it for the attention. They say, hey, I need the attention. I need the love. I need all this to go my way. Absolutely, man. People have no moral compass no more. It's kind of crazy. I don't like certain things, you know, what have you. I just don't. There's so much wrong in the world and society right now. It's just so effed up. We still got proof that Ireland used to come here and sell goods. The Moors used to sail over to Ireland, and the people from Ireland used to come over here. They had their own military force. And right now in Ireland, they have the symbol of the Moors on their shields. I believe it's in Virginia. I'm going to look it up one day and start going through it when I have a day, when I have an empty plate, and go look it up. And you'll see they had a whole field of emptiness. Like, it's like a little, these homes that they built out of stone. Ireland people built it probably 1,000 years or hundreds of years before Christopher Columbus even sailed over here. They had a home built like in the area of what Virginia is. Matter of fact, let me see if I can look that up for y'all. Straight up and down. Let me see. See. Oh, here it is. All right. America's revealed. Irish colonists came to, let me share this with y'all so y'all can see it. So y'all don't think I'm capping using Google for something other. What they saying? Look at that. Irish colonists came to Southeast North America, known as Stonehenges, are in Canada. Okay. I thought it was in like Virginia somewhere. Stonehenges. Came to southeastern North America 4 times, long before Columbus. Told people that. Okay. All right, they got all that. And the Stonehenges. And the stones they had and they built. Look at all that. Cannot deny the existence of words. Speaking many languages. Yep, back then everybody had to speak different languages to communicate. They had to learn. At the request of the cultural at the Irish consulate in New York City, they record 2 Spanish explorers in the late 1600s. Okay, they went and did all that. Do they got the Stonehenges again? It's in Savannah, Georgia. The museum exhibit on the left was not in Savannah, Georgia, but was in the County Kerry, Ireland. The burial mounds as both regions were identical. So it's in Savannah, Georgia. Okay. And they're identical. Yeah. That's it. See, I have Virginia. It's Savannah, Georgia. See, that's what I'm talking about. I know my memory can go a little bit, but I know what I'm talking about. The earliest people of the islands probably look very similar to American Indians, since the presence of Stonehenges on both sides of the Atlantic suggests frequent encounters of the third kind. However, they are almost erased from the island by a flood that lasted for over 20 years in the 24th century BC. This period of ethnic cleansing in Ireland and the lower elevations of England corresponds with the appearance near Savannah, Georgia, of the oldest known pottery north of Amazonia in the Americas. and the oldest known shell rings in North America along the Georgia coast. There has to be some sort of connection. You see what I'm saying? So all of these people who keep talking about their land, my land, I'm from here, I'm from there. You don't know, there ain't no people here from there. You don't know what the hell you talking about. Keep telling people you got to research and study this world, man. This place is big. Much bigger than you and I. And the more you learn about world history, you start to see how small and petty what you arguing with somebody else really is. This white guy had no history of knowledge of his own existence. He's so quick to say Denzel Washington shouldn't be there because in his ideology, he can't see a black man being in power in no damn Rome without even understanding who his character was, what he meant, and what he did. Well, you got to understand, is somebody going to be good or somebody's going to be evil, right? That's how everybody's looking at his lines. See, evil or wickedness or somebody who's bad is by someone else's point of view. So they put religions and laws in place, and everybody had their own laws of the land, which was their religion, their beliefs. And because of beliefs, people would use that to govern and keep people in line. So if you had a lawless area, people would do whatever they want. They take, rob, steal, take lives. It's endless, no rest. So you had to acquire people to come in to police these activities. So that's when they were to, enlist help from other towns, and they would pay them in trade and gold and whatever they would find. Then disease came in, famine. A lot of these situations would go left. And they were saying, don't eat meat when it's past a certain date and time. Yes, back in the Bible, yes. If you want to go back thousands of years and say, don't eat the meat, you can't eat this meat after this. Because yes, back then there's no refrigeration. Okay, now we have refrigerators. So I don't think in the Bible they'll be telling you you can't eat the meat past this many days. They'd be like, well, it can last now because it's been a refrigerator. You see, they didn't have refrigerators. So yes, the meat will spoil and the meat is no good at a certain period of time. So you got to eat right then and there. Ain't going to be no leftovers. You better eat right now. The review for the Penguin is coming on Screen Thing, just like Gladiator 2. They're all coming on the same day. That's tomorrow. Well, it all depends on what you believe in. If you believe in it, then maybe you can achieve it. Everybody wants to be a have-not. I've often realized that when you are put in a place where you're on the pedestal and everybody around you don't seem to get it or understand the big picture, right? As you can see, let me share this tab with you guys so you guys can see it. Cino hit big. I had the Lakers losing to Orlando. I had it all legit. I had the Charlotte Hornets winning. I had the under with the Pelicans, the Raptors and the T-Wolves. I had the over with the Utah Jazz and the Spurs. And I had the Orlando Magic +5. So that's an easy win for Cino. That's neither here nor there. A lot of activities that you saw, that you see happen in politics and how it's played out, is almost how they played it out in real life. And past tense, people would marry into families just to become a son-in-law, to have kids that would become the heirs to certain lands. It becomes a case of how much do you want it? Is this your life? This what you want? We brought order and we brought in structure and actual, the way the calculations were and the way they were done, it was just one of those days, one of those things that happened. But no, I wanted to be a part of something greater. I wanted to be a part of something that was unique. I wanted to be a part of something that was, legit. No. Honor, code, respect. It was passed down from father to father to father. Well, the structures changed. My grandmother's family and how they were raised was based on how their mothers taught them, and they came from a different tradition and trend. Then in the 1960s and 70s, things started to switch where the woman actually went out to work. And that led to this women empowerment and women's movement. So during the 70s, you started to see this shift, women more in the workplace, women more, we're independent, we're going out to get jobs. And once they started coming out with welfare, that's when more women got empowered. And the power shift in the Black family, that dynamic switched, and it was no longer the man of the household. And they were paying you to have the man out of the household, which led to the destruction of communities and families. More violence, more recklessness. Yeah, so let me go ahead and get ready. We got some more videos for tomorrow that's going to come out. We got the Cat Williams video. A lot of people need to hear that. And we just going to go from there. So thank y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all. Finish watching this Laker game. Then I'm going to do a review on that tomorrow too. Well, later on in a few hours. How about that? All right. Later.